Hello, welcome back again to my channel. It's a girl, You're welcome to my channel. You know what we do on this channel? We create content about Africa lifestyle, culture, and food. If it's your first time coming across this video, please don't make it your last. Turn on the post notifications to be notified whenever I post amazing content. Like, comment, and share this video. So in today's video, how Africans expose their frustration to Black Americans. Ghanaians, Nigerians. They are saying too many things about most Black Americans coming into their country, and what they feel about they coming into their country and how they react to it. But I'll be sharing a video with you. An African American shared this video, and I will sharing it with you. But before then, I want to talk about this. There are so many African Americans coming into Africa, coming into Ghana, coming into Nigeria, coming into Kenya to reside or to live or to visit. Whenever things happen to them, they'll begin to have this at their mind that, oh, African going to Africa. They begin to tell people, please don't go.
Simply don't go. Girl went to Africa and someone got injured. Oh my God, someone got injured. Someone's phone got stolen. Oh my God, someone's phone got stolen. Sweetheart, you are from a country where a teenager can go to Walmart and buy a gun. America has the highest number of serial killers. You are from a country where when a white teenager feels depressed, he goes and shoot up a school. You are from a country where people who look exactly like you get murdered in broad daylight with all the evidence to show that they were actually murdered and never get any justice. So please explain to me how you can boldly acknowledge crime or incidents elsewhere, but you can't notice it in your own backyard. So crazy to me how the Western world have conditioned and convinced themselves and the people in their community to believe that crime exists everywhere else apart from the Western world. No, because let me do this again. Did people not die at Ariana Grande's concert in Manchester, England? Did Kim Kardashian not get robbed at gunpoint in Paris? And yet you still only acknowledge that crime exists in Africa? Some of these people are the same ones who will come on social media and make these stereotypical jokes about Africa, about the fact that Africa doesn't have any water. Meanwhile, Michigan don't have none neither. You will come on this app and stay shouting about how they live in mud huts and how they live in trees, but will never take a moment to look at the statistics of homelessness in LA and New York. People like you will come on this app and stay preaching and talking about how impoverished and poor and disadvantaged and how sad it is to be African and live in Africa because of how Africa is. Meanwhile, you're getting oppressed in your own country. Believe it or not, it's the same way when some of them go to the Caribbean. And funny enough, same thing happens in Jamaica. Same thing. If you ever travel to Jamaica, just make friends with one of the staff at the hotel and ask them the worst guests who visit, and they will boldly tell you African Americans. And you wonder why some Caribbeans and Africans simply just don't like some of you. Because you don't come here and stay in other people's business and stay talking shit, knocking your cent against somebody else's dollar. You not can really stay at the land of the free that ain't free. You really can stay there. Nobody's begging you to carry your bag and go. You understand? Don't buy tickets. Stay at home. I am a Black American and I absolutely love to travel to the continent of Africa. It's my favorite continent in the whole wide world. But one of my biggest fears is that the more Black Americans come to this continent, they will not handle it with grace and with care. So, for example, I am in Ghana right now, and I'm getting messages, and people are sending me texts of people who had a bad experience at a festival, or all two people who got their phone stolen, and people are like, "Oh my God, I'm afraid, I can't come. They don't have this stuff together. This is that." And I'm like, that is their experience. It's not my job to negate or validate somebody's personal experience. That is what happened to them. But I just wish more Black Americans handled the systems that they think need to be in place with more care, understand the historical context for why those conditions actually exist. And also understand that negative news about the continent literally drives people's internalized fear that Africa is inherently bad, and it literally feeds stereotypes.
Yeah.
I'm not telling people how they should feel. I'm just saying that as Black Americans, with all your Western
ideology and privilege,
our privilege and our internalized challenges with the continent already, let's make sure we handle it with more care and more grace. Hello, everybody. Welcome once again.
Whoa, this is the highlight of it all. I said it earlier that some African Americans will come to Africa because they have an experience or they faced one thing or the other. They'll begin to tell other people not to come to Africa, that Africa is so dangerous to come in. I've gotten a mail sometimes ago. Someone said, I made a video about it. I think it's 2 years ago. Is it last year or a year ago? I made a video about it, about an African American sending me an email asking me that, is it true that in Africa you get robbed? Is it true that in Africa there is no good house? That what is in Africa is just mud houses? Is it true that in Africa there is no electricity? I was like, where is this perception coming from? Where are you thinking from? With all your ideologies, with all your education, still yet you cannot make a proper research about the country you're coming to. African Americans will come to Africa, they'll come to Ghana today, and they'll come encounter with a little problem. They'll begin to attack that country, the worst country. They'll begin to tell people, don't go to Ghana because of this. The last time I went to Ghana, I experienced this. And this will stop a lot of African Americans that are trying to come down to your country from coming down to their country. This will make a lot of them have that mindset that, oh, anytime I come down to Africa, I would be robbed. I have like a family friend, they've stayed all their entire life in America, and they have this, these thoughts in them that anytime they come down to Africa, that they will be killed, or that anytime they come down to Africa, that they'll use, voodoo or juju on them. So they don't want to come. The parents passed it down to the children. Now the children has passed it down to their children, and now to their grandchildren. So from the parents' generation, they stopped coming to Africa when they got to America. Now the children did not for one day come down to Africa because of what the parents told them. And they've passed it on to their own children. Now, anytime we talk on phone, they say, Auntie, I'm not coming back to Africa. They're going to kill me. I was like, who told you that? To my grandfather. I was like, how would your grandfather tell you they're going to kill you? Because maybe something have happened in the past, and they had that thought that coming down to Africa, they'll kill you, and coming down to Africa, they're going to kidnap you because you're coming from America. Which is not true. All these things are just what people feel. They can just open their mouth and say. That is the reason why I said some African Americans, they are not, most of them, whenever they say they're coming to Africa, most times you don't get happy because they'll come down to Africa and start giving Africa a negative name. I've seen some couples come down to Ghana for a visit, and at the point of coming down to Ghana, they misplaced their purse. They forgot their purse in the taxi. And they were complaining bitterly that it is in America that they will locate the taxi, that the taxi man purposely went away with their bag, with a purse, and there was dollar into the purse. And meanwhile, this taxi might not even know that they forgot something in the taxi. And maybe when he got his destination, he started seeing the money at the back of the seat. I know Ghanaian people, if they see such thing, they want to return it. But how do you locate those people? How do you locate them? When you don't know who they are, you don't have the mobile number, you don't have nothing. And this American couple start that, oh, whenever you come to Ghana, that if you misplace your things, you can never get it back. That all Ghanaian taxi drivers are criminals, that they are stealing from Black Americans coming into Ghana. So all those things will make people not to want to come to the country. And there's a case again, you go to the hotel, as an African American, you book an hotel, the hotel you paid for, the amount you paid for that hotel, you went and get an hotel that is below standard, and you expect to get 24 hours AC, like an air-conditioned hotel, 24 hours, and you paid below the amount of money you're meant to pay. And maybe they gave an option, but due to the fact that, oh, this is Africa, Africa is poor, Africa is this, you want to criticize that hotel, you want to criticize the living condition in Africa. The lot of African Americans that will come to Africa today, they'll have these negative comments, negative videos, negative things, vibe against Africa. They begin to talk down on Africa, that Africa is not rich, Africa is poor, Ghana is poor, Nigeria is poor, we don't have good electricity, we don't have good roads, Meanwhile, where you are coming from, the country you are coming from in America is worse than Africa. America has the high rate of crime. In America, someone can randomly come out and shoot you without you doing anything to them. A student may be just be depressed or angry about something, you just take up a gun, walk into any school and start shooting. This lady said it in this video that even Ariana Grande, she was robbed at gunpoint. So where you are coming from is not safe, and you come down to Africa that the crime rate in Africa is not as much as where you are coming from. You begin to say negative comments about Africa because you feel it is Africa. But whenever you're in that country, you see everything as being normal. You see people shooting people as being normal. You see people burgling into people's house as being normal. You see serial killers as like a normal thing. But when you visit Africa, you see them as bad people. Once an African, maybe something happened to you, you misplaced your phone, or your phone is being stolen in a festival, you think, oh, Africa is bad, don't come to Africa. Meanwhile, the country you're coming from is worse than Africa. The country you're coming from, the high rate of crime in that country is tripled, is doubled, is like times 10 of the crime rate in Africa. And you come to Africa and you start feeling as if, oh, Africa is this, Africa is, I can't come to Africa because the crime rate in Africa. Meanwhile, the country you're coming from, you're not safe. You are not safe in that country. So to all African Americans trying to visit Africa, please try and visit Africa. I don't know what you think about what some of these African Americans are dropping about Africa. Some of them will say Africans do not have lights, Africans still do not have electricity, Africans do not have electricity, Africans are poor, they do not have good water supply, they don't have good housing. I don't know what you think about this, because where they are coming from, it is way worse. If you go to LA, you see so many homeless people that don't have a place to put their head. They don't have anywhere they're staying. They live in the streets. But whenever they come down to Africa, they begin to look at, we Africans are like, we are being backward, that we Africans, we have nothing good to offer. I don't know what you're thinking about this, but as a Ghanaian, as a Nigerian, as a Kenyan, please, I want to see your comments below the comment section. What do you think or feel about what most of these African Americans are coming down to Africa to say or do? I want you to drop your comments, and please don't forget to like and share this video. Turn on the post notifications to notify whenever I post amazing content like this. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. A lot of you have been watching my video, you're not giving this video a thumbs up. But to help you to recommend my videos to many other viewers to watch, please give this video a thumbs up. You can join my membership. You can send me a super thanks as a way of thanking me for creating more content. I also appreciate it. I've come to the end of this video. See you guys in my next video. Bye.